So it's no surprise to me, but gold and silver are both on the move today. They are on the warpath, with gold being right just under 1,800 an ounce today. Wow, it's been really beautiful to watch that move so much over the past couple of months. Obviously, in March we had that big dip in everything, in stocks, S&P, Nasdaq. You saw the big dip in gold and silver silver is back up 1832. A lot of these channels say the same things. A lot of these channels say that, they've been saying for a long time, gold's going to the moon, silver's going to the moon. And it could be the case. It could be the case that they are going to the moon. I'm not necessarily knocking that. What I'm saying is, I think there's a really good bit of data at this point to suggest that they're about to move really high. And they're going to move really high relatively quickly. And I say that because in the past, you've been able to witness the trends of gold and silver rising and falling comparatively to what the stock market, what the Dow Jones has been doing. So normally when the Dow is down, it looks better on gold and silver that day. And vice versa. When the Dow goes up, gold and silver tend to kind of remain flat or drop. But I've noticed the trend over the past week or so that gold and silver haven't moved as much anymore. Almost irrespective to what the stock market does. So even when the stock market is dipping and when it's going up high, I'm not noticing those big trends anymore in silver and gold. They're remaining relatively flat, if not consistently growing. So I think this is a really good sign for gold and silver. I think gold and silver are going to go up even more. I expect gold to go up significantly. And silver is going to follow suit with gold because that's just been the trend. Normally when gold goes up, silver goes up. When gold drops a bit, silver tends to drop a bit. Of course, silver is a bit more of an industrial metal. I guess more practical uses and all sorts of things and gadgets and technology. But it's really nice to see it go up finally. I don't think we're anywhere near the peak for this. I think the longer this economic situation goes, the longer COVID goes, the more shutdowns you have, and the more unreliable the stock market is. And I think more people are starting to become more and more aware. I have this conversation a lot, particularly with conservatives, that the stock market is not the economy. The stock market is almost entirely based on consumer confidence. It's, when the Fed promises something, watch what the stock market does. When the Fed promises, unlimited bailouts or unlimited quantitative easing, if it's talking about just buying all kinds of different bonds, you'll watch the markets respond to that just on promises that the Fed is going to do these things. Not even the Fed doing them, but just on the promises that the Fed's going to do it. So most, if not all, of the stock market is just centered around consumer confidence. And I think people are starting to become a bit more wary in the future. When you hear the conversations had by Fed Chairman Powell, when you hear just any of the conversations that go on about what is going to be happening with, government policy towards the future in the unease, Texas and Florida are closing back down. Arizona, I believe, is closing back down big portions of their economy again. And I think people understand that this isn't over. This isn't going to be over. And I think when we're really going to see some significant moves is when they find out that it isn't even just based on COVID. I don't think these problems are based on COVID. I think right now that's what we're feeling the impact of, but I still believe that COVID was the pin that pricked the bubble. And I think once people become more and more aware that we're not getting out of this anytime soon, that it's not going to be a few months. It's not a quick fix. Once people start realizing that, you're really going to see gold and silver move, I believe. So yes, I'm glad I've been stacking. I have plenty of silver. Obviously I never have as much silver and gold as I want to have, but I do have quite a bit. I have a fair amount. I have enough where I think I'm going to come out on top in this situation. If you don't have it, I would suggest trying to get some of this stuff before it's too late, because I think we're about to see the big move here. These numbers are looking really good, and they've been looking really good for the past couple of weeks, especially in this last week or so. I'm pretty much convinced that it's only going one direction, and that direction is up.